Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. And I want to welcome the panel that's with me. I'm Kathy Cronin, and I will be presenting a topic. And with me is these lovely ladies that fill our wonderful screen are Kristine Pass, Daren Downy, Susan Jarboe, and Reverend Linda Burdett. And I just look forward to this fall season and the crisp air and that. So as we prepare for that, I want to take a moment and let's take some time to get centered and just be in the present. So if it helps to close your eyes, please do that. And let's take a deep breath in together. Feel that filling up our lungs, that air is expanding through our body. And as we exhale, we could just sigh and just feel that release. That tension is going. And we bring in another deep breath. And we breathe in divine spirit and the goodness of God and the light of Christ. And release that breath, knowing that which is around us surrounds us with love and peace and harmony. And we thank you, Heavenly Father. We are so blessed to be able to do this time together, to be open to your wisdom, to the guidance that's around us at all times. We are so thankful that we can take this time to be nourished and to be fed with the divine truth and wisdom. And we thank you for guiding us and sharing our experiences with those who are joining us today. With that, we want to say we thank you for your many blessings. Amen. So my topic today is about Behold Beauty Everywhere. And this is from the Unity Booklet, Living Abundantly, Embrace Your Unlimited Good. And it was written by Rev Dale Worley, who is the Unity Minister of Savannah, Unity of Savannah. So I would like to share what he wrote in this booklet and then open it for discussion. So in Beholding Beauty Everywhere, Rev Dale Worley writes, do you like to travel? I love taking road trips by myself in my car. It gives me the opportunity to spend time alone and allow my mind to clear from the business of everyday life. It's fun to visit unfamiliar places and discover small towns and landscapes that are off the beaten path. Because I avoid the highways and interstates, it usually takes me a couple hours longer to arrive at my destination. It's much more relaxing to use the back roads and 2 lanes and make occasional stops at interesting and unexpected places. Traveling through less populated areas is a great way to enjoy the natural beauty of our world. Recently, I was driving through the North Georgia countryside during a heavy rainstorm. Trees and underbrush were thick on both sides of the road, and there were no houses or buildings in sight. Although the rain was pouring down, the sky before me was clear and light blue, and the afternoon sun was shining so brightly I had to squint at times. When I was a small boy growing up in rural Tennessee, my mother would say, rain while the sunshine means the devil is beating his wife. I've also heard it's that the 2 witches are being married. So when sun and rain, there was bound to be a rainbow somewhere in the sky, but I couldn't see it. I looked in the rearview mirror, and behind me were dark clouds, but there was still sunshine, blue sky, and rain ahead of me. Glancing to my right to look out the passenger side window, I caught a momentary glimpse of color. I made up my mind to pull over and take a better look as soon as I was able. Rounding the next curve, I saw a small road on my right that led to what appeared to be an open field. As I slowed down and turned onto the little road, I realized I was in a cemetery. Spending time in a graveyard filled with old markers is something I find beautiful and something I find beautiful. And I lost the bottom of this. So, okay, there it is. And relaxing. There are plenty of opportunities to visit historic burial sites at my home in Savannah, Georgia, one of the oldest cities in America. However, this cemetery looked modern and well kept. The lawn was green and freshly mowed, and all the headstones were flat on the ground with small vases of flowers beside them. A beautiful line of crepe myrtle trees divided the two narrow lanes leading into the cemetery. I had entered a wide open space, a wonderful contrast from the forest I had just been driving through. I stepped out of my car to look back the way I had come and was rewarded with an amazing and wondrous vision of a full rainbow that stretched across the horizon from end to end. The sky was amazingly blue. The lawn was a sea of green. The rain had ceased, and the colors of the rainbow were vibrant and alive. Feeling a deep sense of peace and appreciation at this magnificent sight, I took a little time to walk around the grounds, stretch my legs, and drink in the beauty that was displayed before me. I was the only person there. I relished the stillness of the moment and entertained the idea that this had somehow been orchestrated just for me. It began to rain lightly as I walked back to my car, aware of the feeling that my time there was complete. Before pulling back onto the highway, I paused to offer a prayer of gratitude for what I had just witnessed. Driving in silence over the next couple of hours, I reflected on the beauty that had unfolded before me. Beauty is everywhere present all the time. Rather than speeding down the road, I had made a decision to pull over and look for beauty. Where there were other times in my life I might have missed out on something really wonderful because I was too busy to slow down. Spiritual teacher and author Wayne Dwyer is often credited with saying, when we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change. Beauty is always available, even if it's not right in front of me. Sometimes I just need to stop and look. So he gives a list of ways to behold beauty. And I want to take some of these things to the panel to see how they, what ways they have to behold beauty. So some of his suggestions were take the long way home, get off the beaten path, drive somewhere that you haven't gone to before, take back roads, see new neighborhoods, try a different route when you go to and from your normal places. Bring a live plant into your home or office. One of the things that I like to do is every so often I buy myself a bouquet of roses and bring, if I can't clip them from my rose garden, it just is bringing in something like that, or a fresh plant is a nice way. Go for a walk outside in a park or green space, especially in fall. Nothing is, to me, is better than walking through and listening to the leaves crunching beneath your feet, that crispness in the air and that chill. It just is such a revigorating feeling. Or even if you're in a very green space, and then pause, be still before leaving or returning to your home. So wherever you may, just take a moment to pause, look around you. How often we come in and out of our houses, but we don't pause to look about and see what's there. sometimes it's like all of a sudden I was going somewhere and didn't realize that my neighbors had totally redone their front yard and now had all these plants growing. It was like, wow, when did this happen? So take that moment to pause wherever you may be. Close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, and think about something you enjoy doing, someone that you love, or someplace that you find beautiful. And one of the friends of ours that are Jewish have the outside their front door before they enter the house, and they do that moment of prayer before they enter the house and when they leave their house. And I think that's such a wonderful blessing upon them entering, and that it's like, and if anyone knows that tradition, please expound upon it. But so I want to ask my panel, what are your ways to behold the beauty around you? Who would like to share?
Kathy, I enjoy this topic so much. This is so fun. It reminds me when I was young, my mom would teach us pretty much that anytime we went on a trip, it was an adventure. So it didn't matter what happened along the way, it was an adventure. And my dad, while my mom and my sister were going through the mall doing all of their shopping, my dad and I would sit on one of the benches in the middle of the mall and people watch. And so I began to learn about the beauty in other people's stories, whether we knew the story or not. Just watching them and making up in our own minds what the story was. And so I saw the beauty in the people. And both of these things have influenced the way I look at life when I go out. More often when I go out than when I stay home. But that these things like a flat tire, well, it's just part of the adventure. So it's a part of the beauty of this particular trip. Maybe we end up meeting somebody that we become good friends with because of this flat tire or whatever. And in terms of people seeing their stories in them by looking at them and reading their faces and their stances and things, seeing the beauty in the world through people is one of my greatest joys. So this has been such a fun topic. Thank you.
Thank you. So, Karen, would you like to share?
Sure. Thank you, Kathy. Um, and I love your background, which reminds me of what's right around the corner, the leaves turning and the color, which is beautiful. For me, I have to drive to Colorado Springs weekly. And the Rocky Mountains are over there in Pueblo. But as I drive up I-25, they get closer and closer and closer. And the clouds, I mean, I don't know, we all live in different places, but the cloud formations, the last forever, it seems like, have just been exquisite. And it's a new picture. I have a hard time keeping my eyes on the road. I mean, it's like I can see the puffs of cotton. Um, Sometimes I can see the mountain, sometimes the cloud is covering it. I usually take a picture before I go inside to get my massage because it's right across the street from this neat little field and these houses and this little fence. And then here's Pikes Peak. And when I go in, there's a certain picture. I come out and it's a totally different picture. And it's like, wow. I don't know, I'm just always thinking of emotions and the changing of life, the changing of feelings. The dark clouds they're there. And then behind them is a new experience. I love taking road trips. But usually my road trips have a destination, and it used to be between here and California. Well, I'm not doing that anymore. And I love to listen to books on tape. Well, when you're not in the car for, an extended period of time, I don't get to do that quite so much. Um, and then, Kristine, you were talking about the people watching. The back parking lot is right outside my patio window. And so there's 3 cars specifically I see. And there's one little lady, I swear to God, I'm tired watching her, how many times she comes and goes. But what I see is this person that just turned 90. She's about 4 feet tall. I know she never leaves the house without putting on the full face and hair, and everything is perfect, and heels. I mean, I would fall off them and kill myself. But there she goes every day. And I just see the strength, the courage, she keeps going. The car next to her, it was this couple. I've watched them for 5 years now. And about a month and a half, it might have even been 2 months ago now, the car pulled up and the wheelchair got set up. And it was like, oh my God, the oxygen tank came out. And then he helped her out. It was shocking. It was like, and she was as gray could be. It just broke my heart. Now, over the course of the last weeks, I see him. He goes and gets the meals. I bump into Morris in the laundry room. He's doing the laundry. What I see is that cherishing of when I see him help her into the wheelchair. I know that there must be a doctor visit. I made we all know I love to take pictures, and I had a few that were of just a lot of greenery, pine trees, and I don't even know what else was in the background. So I made her a card, and I have some of those little envelopes where, you can put the picture in the little frame. And I just, I said, I see green and healing all around you, and just send you love and light. So it's that observance of, wow, of change, not only change in the seasons and in nature and the sky, but of ourselves. And it's like, yeah, sometimes that's pretty shocking. And it's like making peace with that change. But there's beauty all around. And I'm really lucky now living here. I can see the sky. Granted, I can see the cars in the parking lot, and the human changes, and beauty. I mean, beauty in relationships, seeing the interaction. But I can see the sky. And where I lived in California, my chair was the other direction. And then there was palm trees and everything in the backyard. So I could never see the sky. And I cherish that. I cherish being able to see the sky. So there's beauty all around, and I have beauty in my cats. And when I'm feeling, I'll add more color in my apartment. It's like adding some more color somewhere. And I might even align it with the chakras. If I want more blending between my head thinking and spirituality and the lower of I'll add a lot of yellow. Just, there's beauty all around, but then I have to make it. I have to make a choice to see it also. And it's like instead of seeing the lady as so sick and all of that, the message I get is the cherishing of what's going on within the energy of sickness and taking care of and cherishing. So that's a really good topic, and so many thoughts about that. Thank you for that, Kathy.
I'll go next. Yes, I really liked this topic too. And I think you had a very good question about how do we seek out beauty, or where do we look for beauty? Now, some things are really obvious. I pulled into a parking space at my church yesterday, and I was right in front of a hibiscus bush, and there was a hummingbird darting all around. Now that's obvious beauty. I did sit there and watch the bird. I did not immediately get up and go into church. I had an experience when I was living back east in Wisconsin and in Pennsylvania. And the winters there are long and cold and snowy. And I got into the habit, my husband liked to watch sports on TV. And when spring came, he would put on the Masters tournament, the golf tournament. And I watched that, and I could feel my irises expanding because there was this beautiful golf course with azaleas everywhere, color. And that became a tradition. And it was just wonderful to see that kind of beauty when all around me it was winter. Shades of gray, white and black. And what has happened, oddly enough, I happened to retire a couple of months ago, and I have begun watching golf tournaments on TV. I've never been a big sports nut. I mean, but I really look forward to these golf tournaments because there's the green grass, there are the lovely trees, and Karen, you mentioned clouds. Yes, where some of these courses are on the tour, you get this shot and there are these beautiful cumulus clouds. And I remember 2 winters ago when we had those atmospheric rivers here in Southern California, the clouds were amazing, just amazing. A couple of things that I wanted to share with you that you might not know. One is labyrinths. You know what labyrinths are. They're not mazes. Mazes are a different thing. But a labyrinth, oddly enough, is designed so that everywhere you have a turn, you're supposed to stop and look. And then you move on and you come to another turn, you stop and look. And so you're getting all of these different snapshots of your environment when you're doing a labyrinth. It isn't something you just, walk through as fast as you can. Also, and you may know this, Japanese gardens I have always admired because you have a garden in a small space. And the way a Japanese garden works is that you move 5 feet and you have a totally different view. There might be a big rock there. You move another 5 feet, that rock isn't there anymore. And maybe you're seeing a bonsai tree. I mean, they're designed for you to stop and look, and you'll see different views in all of the different locations. And I think that's just an incredible design. And so I just wanted to share those two thoughts with you. Maybe I'll work on a Japanese garden. That might be a fun project. So thank you very much for telling us about beauty, and I'll pass the mic on to somebody else.
I'll take it. I love this topic, and it's very near and dear to my heart. I moved from California, kind of a desert environment, to a forested area, heavily forested, very rural area. And when I step out onto my back porch, I'm looking out into our property and the trees and the sky, and I stop and just let that beauty, I don't just look at it, but I let it become me, kind of seep into my being. And it's just gratitude and grace and beauty. And I really absorbed that. And that's become my main meditation in the mornings. When I get up, I get to go out and take care of the chickens and the plants. And before I do anything, I just step out and be in the incredible beauty around me. And I had a little fear that I would get used to it, that there would come a day when I would step out into this incredibly beautiful surrounding and take it for granted. But this area comes with the blessing of seasons. So it doesn't stay the same. It is ever changing. And personally, I love winter. I love the snow. I love the white. I love the different view of the trees. They look one way dressed, but they look incredibly different when they drop their leaves, and there's beauty in all of that. And just stopping and being in that beauty. When I leave the house for the day and I step out front, I have maple trees in the front yard that are huge and so big. And the leaves make their own design coming down it reminds me of one of those old dresses with the big belled skirts, the way that the leaves fall. And I just step out and give thanks for the beauty of these trees. They're so big and strong and healthy, and they greet me every time I step out of the door. And I don't know what the blessing is when you go into the house or when you come out of the house, but I know whenever I step out of the house, I give thanks for this day and remind myself I've never seen this day before, and try and pay attention to it. I wanted to thank all of you on the panel and Kathy for this topic. As you shared your perceptions of beauty and where you found it, your beauty, each and every one of you, was so evident and so present. And I want to thank you for that. And I wanted to remind everyone of the saying that if you're living with a cat, it's like living with a piece of art that throws up on your carpet. So, my thoughts on beauty. I love this topic. No matter what's going on in the world, we need to find and affirm beauty, I feel, to just stay on track with who we're meant to be. Thank you, Kathy.
Well, thank you, Reverend Lyndon, and thank you for the panel. I love the many different perspectives. I mean, when I approached this topic about beholding the beauty everywhere, I was thinking, the fall colors and the sunrises and sunset and all the beauty in nature. But I love the perspective like Karen did with her neighbor and seeing that, or, Kristine and her father watching people and beholding us. That I brought to mind about a time that I was at a Disneyland. I was at Disneyland in the restroom, And there was a lady who was changing her infant's dirty diaper, and she was cooing and smiling. And I thought, what love there is in this, beholding the beauty of this child while she's changing its dirty diaper, and but still, it's like seeing that there is beauty in all kinds of ways. It's not just nature that God's blessed us with, like the hummingbird enjoying the highest best. I mean, I love watching nature around us, but also seeing the people, that older couple that walk hand in hand with each other, or there's helping, or the young kids that just can play together and see that beauty there. It's just look around, and it's so many places. And it's like I had the wonderful experience of having lived in Hawaii for a few years and got to see a triple rainbow, because Hawaii has the rain all the time. They call it aloha kisses. And just that amazement of a triple rainbow was just, something that's so spellbinding that it's a rarity. And it's like what beauty that is, and what hope and things that God gave. But behind that is, let's behold the beauty in people and how they reach out and help somebody, or giving that helping hand, or that, kindness, or those words of encouragement. So the interesting thing that I want to bring out is this came out of a booklet called Living Abundantly, Embrace Your Unlimited Good. And how often when we think about abundance, we think about the financial wealth and well-being, but there is that beholding the beauty, that's abundantly being blessed. The abundance comes in so many other goodness ways. So embrace that and goodness around you, and then you are abundantly blessed. So with that, I'm going to close. Unless somebody has something else they want to add, I will allow them to give some last minute words. And if not, we will move on. And thank you so much for tuning in with us today. Share this video with other people. If this touched you, or, brought something that someone that might benefit from it, let them know. We really look forward to your comments and your input. If you like it, or like you haven't subscribed, please, become one of our subscribers. And you will continue to get the notification as when these are posted. We look forward to hearing from everyone, and I look forward to working with this panel again in the future. And may you have a very blessed week, and may you find the beauty that surrounds you. Bye, everybody.
Thank you for joining us, and let's stay connected and grow in spirit. We are on Facebook. Search for Unity Church of El Cajon and follow us and like our posts. You can reach us on YouTube at Unity Church of El Cajon. Please subscribe to our channel, watch our videos, and leave comments, which can help us improve. We are on the web at unityofelcajon.org. Email or call our church office to receive our weekly newsletters, which lists all of our activities and opportunities to learn and grow together.